Federal judge orders closure of Trump's Alligator Alcatraz. Here's what's going on, folks. A federal judge has now ordered the closure of Trump's Alligator Alcatraz immigration jail, citing extreme damage to the environment. I see, I would have thought the first thing would have been um, violation of human rights, serving spoiled food, threats of being eaten by alligators, but that's not what the judge led with. Still, though, the end result might be the same. Perhaps this will end at some point. A reminder of how Trump first described this detention center. He's very proud of it.
The idea that if some illegal immigrants escape, they just get eaten by an alligator or a snake or something?
I guess that's the concept. This is not a nice business. I guess that's the concept. If snakes are fast, but alligators are, we're going to teach them how to run away from an alligator, okay? If they escape prison, how to run away. Don't run in a straight line. Run like this. And you know what? Your chances go up about 1%. Okay? Not a good thing.
You would think he has experience in the wild, wild behavior, perhaps. So that's Donald Trump, very proud, as we said, of this Alligator Alcatraz facility, right? And so now, will he get to keep a prized possession? Really, it's his. Federal judge in Miami, late Thursday, ordered the closure of the Trump administration's notorious Alligator Alcatraz immigration jail within 60 days. Ruled that no more detainees were to be brought to that facility while it was being wound down. Guardian with assist in the reporting. The ruling by District Court Judge Kathleen Williams builds on the temporary restraining order she issued 2 weeks ago, which halts further construction work at the remote tented camp. So foreshadowing of perhaps today's ruling. In her 82-page order, published in the U.S. District Court's Southern District of Florida on Friday, Williams determined the facility was causing a severe and irreparable damage to the fragile Florida Everglades. She also noted that a plan to develop the site on which the jail was built into a huge tourist airport was rejected in the 60s because of the harm it would have caused the land and delicate ecosystem. Since that time, every Florida governor, every Florida senator, countless local and national political figures, including presidents, have publicly pledged their unequivocal support for the restoration, conservation, and protection of the Everglades, she wrote. Now, this order, it does nothing more than uphold the basic requirements of legislation designed to fulfill those promises. No further construction at the site can take place, she ruled. There must be no further increase in the number of detainees currently held there, estimated to be about 700. After the 60-day period, all construction materials, fencing, generators, fixtures that made the site a detention camp must be removed. So there's also this that, it just fits right in. Trump administration has announced they are reviewing all 55 million foreigners with U.S. visas for any violations. There's like an endless work staff. We're always hearing about people being laid off, but they have all the time, money, effort, manpower in the world to do. That's a huge undertaking. Who's going to do that? Trump administration said Thursday it is reviewing more than 55 million people who have valid U.S. visas for any violations that could lead to deportation. Part of a growing crackdown, it says, on foreigners who are permitted to be in the United States. Just listen to what we're saying there. They have valid visas, okay? But you want to go back and revalidate them or try to invalidate them? Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. And then try to ship them out of there. Not enough of these so-called criminals who are bringing drugs, murder. Not enough of them. So we're going to go after people who legally obtain these valid U.S. visas. Should such information be found, newsflash, they'll find something where they'll, kind of use some wiggle room. The visa will be revoked. And if the visa holder is in the United States, he or she would be subject to deportation. There were 12.8 million green card holders and 3.6 million people in the U.S. on temporary visas last year. That's according to the Department of Homeland Security. AP with the numbers. 55 million figure suggests that some people subject to review would currently be outside the United States with multiple entry tourist visas, said Julia Galat. She's the associate director of the U.S. Immigration Policy Program at the Migration Policy Institute. She questioned the value of spending resources on people who may never return to the United States. So, with each passing day and Epstein and everything else, we kind of look to see, is this yet another a distraction? Well, no. This is what they're trying to do to boost the numbers from their failed policy, saying that there were scores of people bringing in this violent criminal element, the worst, the lowest of the low, into the United States, threatening citizens of the United States. I would say natural born ones, but remember, they want to get rid of some of those too, mostly the brown ones. Uh, but these are the people they said were attacking seniors, white women jogging in the suburbs. Yeah, that's not me injecting race, okay? When you continue, despite what the family says, to hold up certain victims, they're the crimes that took them from those families, that's what you're doing. You're selectively saying, well, these people are important and brown people or a brown person harm them. So this is what we're doing. It's despicable. But again, and listen, I think the environment should be protected too. I learned a lot about Alligator Alley, the Everglades, all that when I was a reporter, little cub down in Miami. What the judge says has value. I would have liked, though, to have a more significant voice in ruling on just the human rights, lack of due process, those kinds of violations. You know how hot it is there? Never mind the mosquitoes. We mentioned well, they're more than anecdotes. Food that's spoiled, feeding people things that are just, again, with this whole, I hate repeating what everybody says, but it is true. Cruelty is the point. And how can I adjudicate you? How can I punish you before you're adjudicated? By giving you these horrible conditions. Here we are. We'll see if the Trump administration complies. They have a tendency not to do so. They'll try to get that judge out of there or impeach before they, tackle this one. And those same senators and everybody else who said this should never, we should preserve this land, they will be silent. They'll be silent, even though she tried to call them out. Good try.
What up? This is your man, Dr. Rashad Richey. Listen, thank you for watching. If you like more of this content, if you want some more of it, here's what you got to do. Support the channel by tapping that like button. Leave a comment on this video. Subscribe to the channel. Also, press the bell icon so you get notifications every time I'm live with you. And also, I would love it if you would consider becoming a member. Become a member of the Train of Truth. Welcome to Indisputable.